Welcome to Chapter 2, where it talks about the childhood years of Dr. Rizal in Calamba.
Hello everyone, good day. Today I will be introducing Chapter 2 of Jose Rizal's life entitled Childhood Years in Calamba. This chapter focuses on Rizal's early years in his hometown, Calamba, where he experienced the happiest period of his life. He grew up in a loving, joyful, and God-fearing family, guided by good parents who helped shape his character and values from a very young age. Calamba played a very important role in Rizal's development. Its beautiful scenery, along with its hardworking, friendly, and hospitable people, deeply influenced by his way of thinking. Because of this, Calamba became a fitting cradle for a future hero. During Rizal's childhood, Calamba was known as Hacienda Town, owned by the Dominican order, including the surrounding lands. The town was surrounded by rice fields and sugar lands, with Mount Makiling standing proudly to the south and Laguna de Bay located to the east. These natural surroundings added to the peaceful and inspiring environment where Rizal grew up. Rizal loved Calamba with all his heart, even when he was already studying in Ateneo de Manila. He never forgot his hometown. At the age of 15, he expressed his love for Calamba by writing a poem entitled On Recuerdo a Mi Pueblo, or In a Memory of My Town.
Hey everyone, today I will be sharing and explaining a poem written by our national hero, Jose Rizal. This poem is not just about memories. It is a heartfelt story of love, longing, and gratitude for one's childhood and homeland. This poem takes us back to Rizal's childhood in Calamba, Laguna, where he spent his early years surrounded by nature, family, and innocence. At the beginning of the poem, Rizal describes nature, the sea, the breeze, the flowers, the rivers, and the forest. He talks about soft winds with lilies, flowing water, and the peaceful surroundings. These images show how calm and beautiful his childhood environment was. Nature for Rizal is not just scenery, it is a source of comfort, joy, and life. As the poem continues, Rizal begins to remember his family, especially his mother. He recalls her face with tenderness and love, calling her his dearest friend. This shows how important family was in shaping who he became. His childhood was filled with care, guidance, and emotional warmth. Rizal also remembered his village, the lagoon, and the places where he felt safe and happy. These places symbolize his roots, the foundation of his identity. They remind him of a time when life was simple, sincere, and free from pain. As the poem moves forward, the tone slowly becomes sad and nostalgic. Rizal realizes that childhood can never return. The gentle hours he longs for are gone, and all that remains are memories. In the final part, Rizal speaks almost like a prayer. He asks God for peace, sincerity, goodness, and values he learned during his childhood. This shows that although childhood has passed, its lessons remain. The poem teaches us that childhood is a precious stage of life. Our early experiences shape our values and character. We may grow older, but the memories of home stay in our hearts. Innocence, faith, and simplicity are treasures we should never forget. In conclusion, this poem is Rizal's emotional tribute to his past. It reminds us to appreciate our childhood, our family, and our home, because one day they will only live in our memories. Thank you for listening.
So hi everyone, good day. So today let's talk about the earliest memory childhood of Dr. Rizal's, where Rizal first memories, were in the family garden when he was just 3 years old. So you see, because he was small and sometimes weak, so his parents always made sure that he was taken care of. So that's why his father built a small nepa cottage for him so that he could play safely in the garden. And also a caregiver called an ayah watch over him, giving him love and attention. So you see, these early experiences of Dr. Rizal showed how much his family cared for him. So aside from that, you know what? Rizal also loved watching birds like Maya, like Pipit, and also Martin and others, where he listened to their songs with wonder and joy. So here, he enjoyed them watching them, listening to their songs, where it shows that even as a child, of course, Rizal was very observant. So you see, his love for nature helped him become creative and, of course, imaginative. Because, like what I've said earlier, Rizal was very observant, and because of that, it influenced his writings later in life. And every night, Rizal's mother gathered the family to pray, where these daily prayers, made Rizal strong in faith and taught him discipline and family values, of course. And where after the rosary, he remembered the happy memories or nights at the azotea. So additionally, his ayah often told him stories about folklore and magical creatures, where it aroused Rizal enduring interest in legends and folklore. So you see, his ayah told scary stories about monsters like Aswang, Ninuno, and Tikbalang, where these stories were part of Filipino cultures and help Rizal understand our traditions. So you see, they also inspired his imagination and creation for stories. And also, because of his experiences, Dr. Rizal wrote here the statement, thus my heart feed in samba and melancholic thoughts, so that even while still a child, I already wondered on things of fantasy in high regions of the unknown. So you see, here Rizal is explaining how his early experiences made him feel deep emotion even as a child, because he was sensitive and often felt sadness or loneliness, which led him to think deeply. So instead of being just a normal child, he started imagining and dreaming about things beyond his world. So he says his heart feed on samba and melancholic, right? So meaning his feelings were unserious and sad, and because of that, he wandered on wings of fantasy, which means he escaped into his imaginations and dreams. So that's why he went to high regions of the unknown, meaning he explored ideas and thoughts that were beyond what a child normally think about. So you see, I think Rizal is trying to tell us that he has different from the other children. Because you know what? He was not just playing and laughing, he was just thinking deeply about life and emotions. So you see, Dr. Rizal was very different to the other child. Now let's proceed to the hero's first sorrow, where here Rizal was very close to his sister Concha, but sad to say, Concha died in 1865 when he was only 3 years old because of sickness. And because of that, Rizal cried bitterly because he loved her so much. And aside from that, Rizal was 4 years old at that time. So that's why he was very close to his sister Concha. He cried bitterly, he cried a lot, where this was his first sorrow and it's affected him deeply. And aside from that, of course, Rizal was very devoted son of the church. Yes, where he grew up in Catholic family at the age of 3. He joined family prayers, and at the age of 5, he could read the Spanish family Bible. So you see, he was very amazing, right? And also he loved church and activities like novenas and processions. And also, people called him Manong Jose because of his devotion. So Rizal was very amazing. So you see, like what I've said earlier, people called Rizal as Manong Jose because of his devotion. Because Rizal really admired Father Lopez, were oppressed in Calamba, where he often visited him and always listened to his ideas about philosophy, about life, and about the current events, where these help Rizal grow wiser and more mature enough. So, aside from that, his father, of course, Rizal and his father went on a pilgrimage to Antipolo on June 6, 1868, where they crossed the Laguna de Bay for the first time and rode a casco or a barge, where Rizal was amazed by the lake and sunrise, and he was so excited that he could not sleep the whole night because of that excitement. Alright, so after visiting the Antipolo, Rizal and his father went to Manila, where it was Rizal's first time in the city, and also they also visited their sister Saturtina, who was studying there. So you see, Rizal's childhood helped him become loving, caring, what else? Faithful, being too religious, and also curiosity, imaginative, sensitive, emotional, and most importantly, Rizal show respect to elders. So you see, Rizal childhood helped him become more efficient. So there, Rizal childhood experiences shaped his personality. Why? Because he became faithful, he became curious, he became respectful, where these helped him become a great leader and national hero. So, to conclude everything, so Rizal's childhood was full of love. So you see, faith, sorrow sometimes, and wonder, where these experiences shape Rizal into a hero who valued family, religion, and country. So, that's it for my part. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. So now let's proceed, or let's welcome Miss via Grace Espinosa to introduce her topic rather. So thank you and have a nice day.
Good day, everyone. Today, I am reporting one of the most significant anecdotes from the childhood of our national hero, which is Dr. Jose Rizal. But before that, allow me to introduce myself. I am Via Grace Espinosa, and I will be discussing one of the story of Jose Rizal, which is the story of the moth. So this event, recorded in the Rizal's own writings, left what he called the profoundest impression on his life. So before we start with the story, let us have the short background first. So Doña Teodora loved to read Pepe stories from the book Amigos de los Niños, the children's friend. So one day, she scolded his son for making drawings on the pages of the storybook, and to teach him the value of obedience, she read him a story in it. And the title is The Story of the Moth. So the moth who was warned by her mother against going too near a lamp flame, but she was fascinated by the mysterious light. Then the moth flew close to the flame, feeling comforting warm at first. She drew closer and closer until she flew too close enough to the flame and perched. So while Pepe was listening to the story, he was watching a similar incident. Doña Teodora also gives him the wisdom of many lifelong lessons that he will be able to carry with him through the rest of his life. So one of those is to always listen to his elders because they have experienced more than him. So many years later, Rizal himself felt that the moth still could serve as an allegory of his own destiny. So, alright, so since we are done with that, so let's go on with the setting of the story. So the setting of the story, so the scene is a quiet evening in Calamba. So the room is dimly lit by a single coconut oil lamp, which Rizal describes as a light that burns through the night in Filipino homes. So now let's move on to the characters of the story. So first is the young moth. So it represents youthful curiosity, ambition, and the desire to pursue a noble cause, or the flame's light. So ultimately leading to its demise by ignoring its mother's warnings. So second is the old moth. So the voice of experience, caution, and maternal guidance, warning the younger moth about the dangers of the flame. So third is, of course, Dr. Jose Rizal, which is the protagonist. So the real-life figure who heard the story from his mother and identified with the young moth's pursuit of ideals, viewing the flame as a metaphor for freedom and knowledge. So lastly is Teodora Alonso, which is Dr. Jose Rizal's mother. Alright, so the storyteller. Okay, so using the fable to impart life lessons about obedience and the potential sacrifices for noble goals. Okay, since we are done with the characters, so now let's move on to the conflict. So what is the conflict? It is a clear person versus society or person versus self conflict. Alright, so the mother warns of danger and emphasizes obedience, while the young Jose feels a deep envy for the fortune of the insects that died in the oil because they died chasing something beautiful. Alright, so that's the conflict. So now let's move on to the point of view or the POV. So for the POV, it is written in first person point of view with an adult Dr. Jose Rizal reflecting on the profoundest impression so this childhood event left on him. So now let's move on for the theme. So the theme or the universal idea is martyrdom for an ideal. So the text concludes that to sacrifice one's life for a noble cause is worthwhile even if others see it as a tragic illusion. Okay, so now let's move on to the tone. So the tone shifts from nostalgic and childish at the start to solemn and prophetic by the end. So as Dr. Rizal recognizes the parallel between the insect's life and his own destiny. Okay, so now let's move on to the literary devices used in the story. First is imagery. So Dr. Rizal uses vivid sensory details such as the golden thumb of the flame and the splattering of the oil lamp at daybreak. Okay, next is symbolism. We can also see symbolism in the story as literary device because the flame represents more than just fire. It symbolizes a noble ideal or a dazzling truth. The young moth represents the martyr who is willing to risk everything for that life. Okay, so since we are done with the story of Dr. Rizal, so now let's move on to the next reporter. And thank you.
Now, moving on to the artistic talents of Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal showed his artistic talent at a very young age. As early as 5 years old, he was already drawing sketches and creating figures from clay and wax. These early works showed his natural creativity and interest in art. When Rizal was still a young boy in Calamba, a religious banner used during the town festa was damaged. The town mayor asked him to paint a new one using oil colors. His works impressed the town people because it was even better than the original banner. Rizal was an introverted child with a deep love for nature. He found happiness in observing flowers, fruits, lake waves, clouds, and listening to the sounds of birds and the breeze. He also enjoyed riding his pony and taking long walks by the lake shores with his dog Osman. One memorable story about Rizal happened when he was 6 years old. His sister laughed at him for spending too much time making clay and wax figures instead of playing. Rizal stayed calm and confidently told them that someday people would make monuments and images of him. This showed his early confidence and belief in his own greatness. Aside from his talent in art, Jose Rizal also possessed a natural gift for literature. Even at a young age, he was already writing verses on loose sheets of paper and on his sister's textbooks. His love for poetry was noticed and encouraged by his mother. He was also a lover of literature. At the age of 8, Rizal wrote his first poem in the native language entitled Sa Aking Mga Kababata, or in English, To My Fellow Children. Now I will read the poem first and then later on I will discuss the message of the poem and then the literary devices used. Now, here's the poem. To my fellow children, whenever people of a country truly love the language which by heaven they were taught to use, that country also surely liberty pursue, as does the bird which soars to fair space above. For language is the final judge and the referee upon the people in the land where it holds sway. In truth, our human race resembles in this way the other living beings born in liberty. Whoever knows not how to love this native tongue is worse than any beast or evil-smelling fish. To make our language richer ought to be our wish, the same as the mother loves to feed her young. Tagalog and the Latin language are the same, and English and Castilian and the angel's tongue. And God, whose watchful care and over all is flung, has given us His blessings in speech we claim. Our mother tongue, like all these highest that we know, had alphabet and letters of its very own. But these were lost, but furious wave were overthrown, like bankas in the stormy sea long years ago. This poem shows how early Rizal developed a strong sense of love for his country and for its language. In the poem, Rizal uses different literary devices to express his ideas. He uses metaphor when he compares a nation's love for its language to a bird soaring freely in the sky, symbolizing freedom. He also uses personification by describing language as a judge and referee of a people. Through simile and imagery, it compares the loss of the native alphabet to a small boats being destroyed by stormy waves. This poem reveals Rizal's earliest nationalist sentiment. In poetic verses, he proudly proclaimed that a people who truly love their native language will surely strive for liberty like the bird which soars to fair space above, and that Tagalog is the equal of Latin, English, Spanish, and any other language. This poem reveals Rizal's earliest nationalist sentiment. In poetic verses, he proudly proclaimed that a people who truly love their native language will surely strive for liberty like the bird which soars to fair space above, and that Tagalog is the equal of Latin, English, Spanish, and any other language. The main message of the poem is that loving one's native language is essential to achieving freedom and national identity. Rizal emphasizes that Tagalog is equal to Latin, English, and Spanish, and that no language is superior to another. This poem clearly reveals Rizal's earliest nationalist sentiment and his belief that language plays a vital role in shaping a free and united nation.
Now I will be discussing about the early artistic and intellectual development of Jose Rizal. Now, Jose Rizal showed an exceptional talent at a very young age. At only 8 years old, after writing the poem titled To My Fellow Children, he composed his first dramatic work, a Tagalog comedy. This early interest in literature and drama highlights Rizal's creativity and intellectual maturity even during childhood. Writing a play at such a young age shows his natural inclination toward artistic expression and storytelling. The quality of Rizal's work did not go unnoticed. A gobernadorcillo from Paite, Laguna witnessed the performance of the comedy and was greatly impressed. He purchased the manuscript for 2 pesos and brought it to his hometown, where it was staged during the town fiesta. Now you know what is fiesta, right? Now, this early public recognition demonstrates how Rizal's talent was already being appreciated by others even before he became a national figure. Now we have the Rizal as a boy magician. Well, aside from writing, Rizal had a strong fascination with magic and illusion. Using his dexterous hands, he learned various tricks such as making coins appear and making handkerchiefs vanish. Now, these performances amazed and entertained the people in his town, showing his ability to captivate an audience. Rizal also organized magic lantern exhibitions where shadows from an ordinary lamp were projected onto a white screen. By skillfully twisting his fingers, he created shadow figures that resembled animals and people. In addition, he learned how to manipulate marionettes or puppet shows. Now, these activities reflect Rizal's curiosity, creativity, and desire to entertain while experimenting visual effects and performance art. Now this time, let us dwell into the continued interest in magic. So I have mentioned earlier some things that Rizal can do aside from his academic skills, or aside from him being known as a brainy, he also learned some magic tricks that impressed some people. Now, his continued interest in magic did not fade as he grew older. Even in his adult years, he continued studying magic by reading books and watching the performances of famous magicians around the world. This lifelong passion shows his dedication to learning and mastering different skills. His wide knowledge of magic was later reflected in his literary works in chapters 17 and 18 of El Filibusterismo. Now, Rizal used some elements and illusions and deception to symbolize political manipulation and social realities. Now, this shows how he transformed personal interest into meaningful literary tools. Next is the Lakeshore Reveries, or also known as Laguna del Bay. Now, during his childhood, Rizal often spent quiet moments by the shore of Laguna de Bay, usually accompanied by his pet dog. These moments of solitude allowed him to reflect deeply on life, the future, and the situation of his people. He often wondered about what lay beyond the lake and whether life was different in another land or in other lands. While reflecting, Rizal witnessed frequent abuses committed by Spanish authorities. Guardia Civil officers and local officials often beat accumulated innocent villagers for minor offenses. These scenes of cruelty disturbed him deeply. The lack of restraint and daily acts of violence made him question the justice of colonial rule and the suffering of Filipino people. Now, next is the awakening of the nationalism. Despite his young age, Rizal felt profound sorrow over the oppression of his fellow countrymen. The injustices he observed awakened his sense of nationalism and strengthened his resolve to fight tyranny. He later expressed that these childhood experiences ignited his imagination and led him to make a personal vow to dedicate himself to the cause of justice. Now, this determination became evident in all his writings. Rizal believed that someday he would have the opportunity to fulfill his promise to seek justice for the victims of oppression. His early experiences helped his lifelong mission and laid the foundation of his role as a national hero and reformist. Okay, so this time let's move on to the next topic, which will be discussed by my member.
Good day everyone. So today I will present the topic of influence on the hero's boyhood. So this presentation explains how different hereditary and family influence help shape the character of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, during his childhood. So the first one is hereditary influence. So what is hereditary influence? So hereditary influence refers to the traits and qualities down from one's ancestors and parents. So in Rizal's case, so his character was greatly shaped by the qualities he inherited from his ancestors and family. So the second one is Malayan ancestors. So from his Malayan ancestors, Rizal inherited his love for freedom and his natural desire to travel. So from Malayan ancestor, Rizal inherited his love for freedom. So and his natural desire to travel. So these traits influence his bravery and his willingness to explore different countries to gain knowledge and experience. So the third one is Chinese ancestors. So from his Chinese ancestors, so Rizal inherited his serious nature, frugality, and patience, and love for children. So these qualities, so from Chinese ancestor, is help him live a disciplined life and strengthen his concern for education and the welfare of the youth. So the Spanish ancestors. So from his Spanish ancestors, Rizal inherited his elegance of bearing, sensitivity to insult, and gallantry toward ladies. So, influence his refined manners, strong sense of dignity and respectful behavior toward others. So from his father Francisco Mercado, Rizal inherited a deep sense of self-respect, a love for work, and the habit of independent thinking. So his father taught him the value of hard work and thinking for himself. And the last one is his mother. So from his mother, Teodora Alonso, so Rizal inherited his religious nature, spirit of self-sacrifice, and passion for arts and literature. So she played a major role in developing his love for reading, writing, and moral values. So again, the influence Rizal received from his ancestor and parents played a very important role in shaping his characters. So this quality moved into the great hero and that we honor aside from hereditary influence. So the second one is environmental influence. So also played an important role in shaping the character of Dr. Jose Rizal during his boyhood. So scenic beauty of Calamba. So the scenic beauty of Calamba and the beautiful garden of the Rizal family greatly influenced Rizal's development. So these surroundings stimulated his inborn artistic and literary talents, so inspiring him to appreciate nature and express himself through writing and art. So the second one is religious atmosphere at home. So the religious atmosphere in their home helped strengthen Rizal's religious nature. So through daily prayers and strong moral teachings, he developed a deep sense of faith and respect for God. So the third one is influence of his brother Pasiano. So Rizal brother Pasiano has a strong influence on him. So he instilled in Rizal's mind the love for freedom and justice, so which later became central themes in his writing and ideas. So influence of his sisters. So from his sisters, Rizal learned how to be courteous and kind to women. So their guidance helped him develop good manners and respect for women throughout his life. So the stories from his ayah. So the fairy tales told by his ayah during his early childhood awakened Rizal's interest in folklore and legends. So these stories enriched his imagination and contributed to his love for storytelling and literature. So Rizal environment played a significant role in shaping his values, talents, and beliefs. So another environmental influence by Dr. Jose Rizal's boyhood came from his relatives, especially his uncles, who helped shape his talents, health, and love for learning. So Tio Jose Alberto. So Tio Jose Alberto, who studied for 11 years in a British school in Calcutta, India, and traveled in Europe, so had a strong influence on Rizal. So he inspired Rizal to develop his artistic ability and appreciation for culture, helping nurture his talent in art and creativity. So Tio Manuel. So Tio Manuel was a strong, husky, and athletic man. So he encouraged Rizal to strengthen his frail body through physical exercises such as horse riding, walking, and wrestling. So because of his influence, Rizal learned the importance of physical fitness and discipline. So Tio Gregorio. So Tio Gregorio, a lover of books, greatly influenced Rizal's intellectual growth, and he intensified Rizal's love for reading, encouraging him to read many books and broaden his knowledge. So these are the guidance of Rizal's uncles played an important role in his physical, intellectual, and artistic development. So this environmental influence helped mold him into a well-rounded individual. So aside from family and surroundings, so other environmental influences also helped shape the characters and ideals of Dr. Jose Rizal during his boyhood. So Father Leoncio Lopez, so the old and learned parish priest of Calamba, greatly influenced Rizal. So he fostered Rizal's love for scholarship and intellectual honesty, encouraging him to value learning, truth, and moral integrity. So the second one is sorrows in his family. So the sorrows experienced by Rizal's family also strengthened his character. So the death of his sister Concha in 1865, and also the imprisonment of his mother from 1871 to 1874 taught him to endure pain and hardship. So these experiences helped him become emotionally strong and prepared him to face adversity later in life. So Spanish abuse and injustice. So Rizal witnessed the Spanish abuse and cruelties committed by the Guardia Civil and the Alcalde. So he also saw the injustice, tortures of innocent Filipinos, and the execution of Fathers Gomez, Borgus, and Zamora in 1872. So these events awakened his spirit of patriotism and inspired him to dedicate his life and talents to the freedom and welfare of his oppressed people. So the difficult experiences and social injustice results witnessed during his boyhood greatly shaped his character and ideas. So another important influence on the boyhood of Dr. Jose Rizal was the aid of divine providence. So the first one is God's endowment. So God endowed Rizal with the versatile gift of a genius, the vibrant spirit of a nationalist, and the valiant heart to sacrifice for a noble cause. So this divine gift enabled him to use his intelligence, talents, and courage in the service of his country and his people. So these are the three important of Dr. Jose Rizal. So through the guidance of divine providence, Rizal was able to develop his abilities and fulfill his mission as a hero and patriot. So these blessings helped shape him into a man who dedicated his life to the welfare of nation. So that's all, and thank you for listening.
Now we are done discussing chapter 2, which focuses on Jose Rizal's childhood years in Calamba. Before we end, let me introduce the members behind this presentation. We have Nicole Arong, Laureline Toller Diaz, Via Grace Espinosa, Jinky Marie Pino, Ginelen Rubio, and Philyu Ipil, and last we have Miss Sarah Marie Igot. Thank you for listening.